Sometimes curiosity leads us to places where light can't reach, places forgotten by time, but never truly empty. Have you ever stepped into an abandoned house? Wandered through the night looking for a thrill? Some people have, and they were never the same again. In this video, you'll hear 3 true stories from those who came face to face with absolute terror. Warning: make sure you're not watching this alone. Story 1: The tunnel beneath the haunted house. I was a sophomore in college when I took a summer job at a downtown LA carnival. Nothing fancy, just a part-time gig running one of those old haunted houses. You know the type. Fake cobwebs, plastic mannequins, speakers playing canned screams. Every day was the same. Guests went in, screamed, laughed, and walked out. Until one Friday night, when things started to get weird. That night, the crowd was decent. I stood by the exit, counting people to make sure no one got stuck inside. A group of 5 went in. 10 minutes later, only 4 came out. I figured the last one was lagging behind, so I went in to check. No one. This happened a few more times over the next few nights. Each time, someone seemed to vanish for a moment, only to reappear from the back of the house, through a door no one was supposed to use. That night, with the final group of customers gone, I decided to investigate. Flashlight in hand, I walked the familiar path inside, but when I reached the inn hallway, just past a black curtain, I noticed something strange. A cracked wooden door slightly ajar. I was sure it hadn't been there before. Behind it, a staircase leading down. No lights, no sound. I hesitated, then stepped forward, one slow step at a time. The smell hit me immediately. Mold, rust, and something else. Something rotting. At the bottom, I found a small purse lying on the damp floor. Inside, a wallet, lipstick, and an ID card. It belonged to the girl who'd walked in 2 nights earlier. Before I could react, I heard it. Breathing. Slow, heavy. Then suddenly, close. I turned, and she was there, pale, covered in dirt and dried blood. She said nothing at first, then whispered, "The way out is behind you." I grabbed her hand and we ran up the stairs toward the exit, but just as we reached the main floor, she stopped, turned to look at me, blank-eyed, still, like she was waiting for something. I had no idea what was happening. I called the police. They came, searched the place, and found it, an old tunnel system beneath the building used during Prohibition in the 1920s. Some of it had been disturbed recently, but no one else was found. The girl, according to police, had been missing for 3 days. She remembered nothing, not being taken, not being held, not meeting me. But I remember her. Sitting in the back of the police car just before they drove her home, she turned to me, smiled faintly, and whispered, "You know, they're still down there." I quit the next day, and since then I've never stepped into another haunted house, because now I know some of them aren't just for fun. Some hide behind laughter until the lights go out. Story 2: The screams beneath Bryce Hospital. I used to think the scariest things only existed in horror movies. That was before the night we explored the abandoned asylum called Bryce. Since then, my entire understanding of fear has changed. There were 4 of us, all just 18 or 19, young, stupid, restless. It was pitch black when we arrived. The clock read 2:30 a.m. Our car crawled down the dirt path toward the hospital ruins, weeds scratching at the sides like tiny hands trying to pull us back. Up ahead, the building loomed, a broken silhouette swallowed by time. It looked like a ghost the world had forgotten. We stepped into the main lobby. The walls were caked in moss, graffiti scrawled with crude pentagrams. The air smelled of rot and mildew. Every footstep echoed like it was being swallowed by the silence itself. We walked through a collapsed hallway and climbed a rotting ladder to the roof. That's when we saw it, a flicker of light, like a phone flashlight. Then nothing. Gone in an instant. I'm set. We called out. No answer. Only the silence pressing in harder. We left the roof and headed down into the basement, rumored to have once held the most violent patients. The stairs were fractured, crumbling with each step. Reaching the basement felt like descending into another world. And then, a voice. Low, broken, as if scraped across centuries of isolation. I froze. One of my friends pointed his flashlight toward the corner. That's when we saw him. A man sitting against the wall, back turned, thin and motionless. "Sir, are you okay?" my friend called out, voice trembling. No reply, just the man slowly turning his head toward us. And that face, eyes rolled completely white, mouth stretched unnaturally wide. Then, he screamed. It wasn't a human scream. It was something trapped, something that should never have been let out. We bolted, tripping, shoving, climbing through a shattered window into the woods. I could hear him, his footsteps, the harsh rasp of laughter behind me. In that moment, I knew he was right on my heels. We got lost in the woods for nearly an hour, circling back, desperate to find the car. Just when we thought we were safe, a rock flew from the brush and slammed into my friend's back. And then, he stepped out. That same figure, lurching, silent, watching. We screamed and sprinted for the car. Glass shattered against metal as he slammed a bottle against the window. I caught a glimpse of his eyes, bloodshot, staring right into mine. His mouth open in a scream I couldn't hear, but I could feel, like it was cursing us. We drove in silence. No one spoke the entire way home, just the sound of our hearts pounding like they were still trying to run. Since that night, none of us have set foot in another abandoned place. Some doors, once opened, leave a crack in your mind you can never seal again. Story 3. The smile upstairs and the question without an answer. My brother and I have always shared a strange hobby, exploring abandoned houses. Back then, we had just graduated college, jobless and bored. So every weekend we'd drive deep into the forests of Georgia, chasing rumors of forgotten places. One October afternoon, we stumbled upon a 2-story house buried in a thick valley. Tall grass brushed our knees. The roof sagged on one corner. The front door creaked endlessly in the breeze. But what sent a chill down my spine was the fact that every window had been covered in old newspapers, all dated 1979. And on the final page, a red circle had been drawn around a line of bold print. The one who sees will return. We laughed. Probably just some prank, my brother said, then pushed the door open. Inside, dust blanketed every surface, but everything else was intact. A family photo hung upside down on the wall, its glass shattered. A lamp still plugged in, but dead. As we climbed the stairs, I got a strange feeling, like someone was watching us from behind. Upstairs, a hallway stretched toward 3 closed doors. One of them was slightly open, and from it, a woman stepped out. She wore a white dress, long hair draped over her face. But what paralyzed me was her smile. It stretched far past what should be humanly possible, up to her cheeks, unmoving. A grin carved from something wrong. She stared at us for several seconds, then silently turned and walked down the stairs. We followed, confused, trying to speak. But when we reached the bottom, she was gone. No footsteps, no door creak, no trace. Trying to shake it off, we went back upstairs and checked the room she came from. It was a nursery, a crib draped in a white sheet, an old shrine of sorts, and a Polaroid photo on the desk. In the photo was us, standing inside that very room, and behind us, a faint silhouette. We backed away. That's when the door to the right burst open. She was there again, but now she was closer. She looked directly into my eyes. Her voice came out rough and dry. "Do you want to see what's behind me?" Her hand began to reach behind her back, slowly. I snapped, screamed, grabbed my brother's arm, and ran. The front door slammed shut behind us. We didn't stop running until we reached the car, hearts racing, breath steaming in the cold night air. Inside the car, we sat in silence until my brother whispered, "Did you notice? From the moment we walked in, she never left the second floor?" I nodded. Chills ran down my spine, and ever since that night, I've had the same dream. I'm standing on the second floor. She's in front of me, still smiling, and still reaching back, waiting for me to say yes. The thing that terrifies me most is not seeing her again. It's the fear that, one day, I'll finally answer, "Yes, I want to see." 3 stories, 3 memories no one wants to revisit. But if you think these were just coincidences, remember, there's always a reason why a place gets abandoned. Thank you for listening until the end. If you have a scary story of your own, drop it in the comments below. And if you're still awake enough to hit like and subscribe, then maybe you haven't reached the darkest part of the night just yet.